Claude Code has over 40 features. Most people have no idea what they are. I've been using this tool every single day, and honestly, the more I use it, the more I realize how much people are missing. It is one of the most powerful tools built for non-coders right now, but that power is hidden behind features most tutorials never explain. So in this video, we're covering every single one, every feature in Claude Code that can actually change how you work. First the basics, then the advanced stuff. Starting with where you actually run Claude Code, because that one decision changes everything you can build with it. If you're not from tech, you've probably wondered, what even is a terminal? Think of it like this. It's a chat box for your computer. No icons, no buttons, just you giving commands to your computer. Basically, you can control your entire computer through text. But before AI, you had to memorize exact commands to control your PC. It was a nightmare for beginners. Now with Claude Code, you just type plain English. Something like, find all duplicate files on my desktop. Claude figures out the rest and runs it for you. And of course, you can do a lot more with it. Now let me show you how to install Claude Code. To install Claude Code in the terminal, first open your terminal, then paste this command, which I will give you in the description, and hit enter. It will install the package. After that, type Claude and hit enter. Now it will load the page where you can select the theme. I will choose the default one. After that, it will ask you to sign in using one of these three methods: Claude subscription account, Anthropic console account, or a third-party platform. I have the Claude subscription, so I will choose the subscription option. Then it will take you to this page. Here, simply click the authorize button. When you come back to the terminal, it will show some security notes. Just click through them and hit enter. Then hit enter again. And there we go. Now you have access to Claude Code inside your terminal. You can type anything you want and it will give you the answer. If the terminal feels too technical, you don't need to worry about at all. Desktop app, you get everything right inside a proper application. It has a clean UI, a chat bar where you give Claude your instructions. From there, you can give it access to your folders, your files, whatever you need it to work on. You can also control what mode Claude Code runs in, all from a simple interface. Basically everything you can do in the terminal, but with a beginner-friendly UI on top of it. And the setup is really simple. You just install the Claude Desktop App, and Claude Code is already built right inside it. No extra installation. Just open and you're good to go. I highly recommend you start with Claude Desktop first, then jump to the terminal. Okay, this one is my personal favorite, the VS Code extension. It basically allows you to connect Claude Code directly inside VS Code. So if you want to build an application, this is where you should be. VS Code is the app where developers write and test their code. And with this extension, you're giving VS Code the smartest brain to build your project. You get all the Claude Code features directly inside VS Code. Things like plugins and skills, which I'll talk about later in this video. Let me show you how you can connect. Open VS Code. On the left sidebar, click the extensions icon. In the search bar, type Claude Code. You'll see the official Anthropic extension at the top. Click Install. Once it's done, a new icon will appear on the left side. Click it. It will ask you to sign in. You get three options: subscription, API key, or free tier. I'm on the Pro subscription, so I'll go with that. And just like that, Claude Code is connected to VS Code. Now you can start sending messages directly from your editor. So with multiple sessions, you can run Claude Code more than once at the same time. Think of it like this. Imagine you have three tasks: fixing errors in one file, organizing another folder, and building a new page. Normally, you would do them one by one. With multiple sessions, you can run all three at the same time. Each session is handling a different task. While one is fixing, another is organizing, another is building, all happening at the same time. It's like having multiple versions of Claude working for you simultaneously. Now let's move to files and projects. So with project reading, Claude Code gets access to your entire project, reads everything, and builds a complete understanding of what your project is about. So say you built something in anti-gravity and you want to bring it into Claude Code. You don't rebuild anything from scratch. You just point Claude to your folder, tell it to read everything, and that's it. Gets everything it needs to know. And the best part, by default, this is already enabled. But if you want to go even deeper, you can use this prompt right here. Now, by default, Claude will ask your permission before doing pretty much anything. You can see it right here on screen. It's asking me before it edits this file. From a security standpoint, that's actually a great thing. But honestly, it can get annoying fast. The cool part, you can control exactly how much it asks. There are 3 modes. The first one is the default. Claude asks before every action. The second one is smarter. It only asks when it's about to edit a file, not for everything else. And the third one, it bypasses all of it. No prompts, no interruptions, Claude just runs. So depending on what you're building and how much you trust the task, you pick the mode that works for you. Claude.md is basically a file where you write your rules and preferences once, and Claude uses it as the base rules for your entire project. For example, say you always want Claude to use a specific coding style, always respond in a certain language, or never delete certain files. You write that want in Claude.md, and Claude follows it automatically every single session without you having to say it again. And if you're a beginner and don't know how to write it, don't worry, I'll drop some ready-made templates in my server. You just grab one and use it as your base. Or you can simply tell Claude in your own words what rules and preferences you want, and it will write the Claude.md file for you. So with Session Resume, you can access your previous sessions and conversations in Claude Code. So even if you close your terminal by mistake, everything is still there, waiting for you. For example, so let's say I'm working on this project and I lose my session. All I do is type /resume, and Claude gives me a list of all my recent conversations. I just select the one I was on and I'm straight back in. Nothing lost. Now in the desktop app, it's even simpler. You don't need to type any command. Your sessions are already saved right here in the sidebar. Just click and continue. And if you're using the terminal or VS Code, these are the commands you need. Simple as that. So whichever way you're using Claude Code, terminal, VS Code, or desktop, you never lose your work. Claude Routines is one of the best features in Claude Code. It basically helps you automate your tasks without any involvement from your side. For example, I get a daily briefing every single morning. Today's weather, what's trending in AI, and the latest news, all in one personalized report. And that's just one use case. You can build a lot more with this. To set up routines, open Claude Code. On the left sidebar, you'll see the routines option. If you're on the terminal, you can use the command instead. Click routines, then new routine. You'll get 2 options, local and remote. To run this on the cloud, choose remote. Then enter the name of your routine. Then add your instructions. For example, my daily brief. Next, select your trigger point. I'll choose schedule, then set the time. At the bottom, you'll see connectors. Connectors are third-party apps, like Gmail, Google Calendar, and others. Then simply click create. Our routine is set. Now it will trigger automatically whenever the scheduled time comes. Hooks are basically automatic triggers. You set a rule once, and every time that moment happens, Claude acts on it. For example, every time I create or edit a file, it automatically sends the updated version to Git. I don't need to do any manual work. That is a hook. Now let me show you how to set one up. Hooks do not work in the Claude Desktop application. If you try typing there, nothing happens. For hooks, you need Claude Code running in the terminal. Make sure you have that installed before continuing. Now you need to create a separate folder for your hook, just like I did, a .claude folder inside your project. And inside that, a file called settings.json. This is where you manage all your hooks. Let me open mine so you can see exactly what it looks like. This is my hook setup. What it does is simple. It tracks expenses. Whenever I mention an expense inside Claude Code, that word becomes the trigger point. Hook fires instantly. Now this is the structure. You can copy this and build your own. Or even simpler, just explain your task to Claude AI and it will write the hook for you. You only need to change one thing, the command. Whatever your task is, describe it to Claude and it handles the rest. All right, let's test this out. Open the terminal inside your project folder. Type Claude and hit enter. Claude Code starts right there. Now I'll give it a simple prompt and hit enter. The hook fired automatically. It logged my expense into the file without me doing anything extra. Let me open it so you can see. Entry is already there. My cigarettes. Logged instantly. That is it. Loop is basically a repeating task. You tell Claude what to do and how often to do it, and it just keeps running on its own. For example, I set this up to check the weather in my city every minute and reports back to me. I don't open any app, I don't search anything. It just runs automatically in the background while I do other work. Subagents is honestly one of my favorite features in Claude Code. So here is how it actually works. I have a main agent called Amy that handles my entire content creation workflow. Instead of doing everything herself, Amy hires specialist subagents. One for research, one for idea generation, one for scripting. Each one has its own context. They all run at the exact same time without interfering with each other. Then they report back to Amy, and Amy gives me the final result. That is subagents running in parallel. Alright, to create a subagent, you need to give it a configuration file. A simple markdown file that tells Claude Code who this agent is and what it does. Create this file manually, or you can just paste a prompt into the chat and let Claude Code generate it for you. Either way, the template covers a few things: the agent's name, the model it should use, a short description, any tools it has access to, a system prompt, and optionally a list of steps it should follow. Once you've filled that in, run the /init command first. This gives Claude Code access to your project folder so it can actually create the file. Then paste your template into the chat and send it. Claude Code might ask you a couple of clarifying questions. Sometimes it skips straight to building. Either way, after a moment, you'll see a new .md file appear in your folder. That file is your agent. That's how subagents work. And honestly, that's the straightforward part. By default, Claude Code can only chat with you. But with MCP servers, it can literally become an agent and take real actions in real tools. For example, I have a calendar MCP connected to Claude Code right now. I can just say, add a meeting with the president tomorrow at 2 p.m. to my Google Calendar. And it goes ahead and creates that event, just like that. That's one example. It can perform dozens of different tasks across completely different tools. And there are hundreds of MCP servers available. Now the next feature is Claude Skills. Skills are basically a set of instructions and rules that you give to Claude Code. And whenever a specific task comes up, like writing a script, it triggers automatically. Claude Code actually comes with a bunch of pre-built skills right out of the box. Each one handles a specific task. This one here creates new skills for you. This one is the MCP builder. It handles everything around setting up and connecting MCP servers. Every skill contains all the instructions Claude needs to do that job. The cool part? These weren't just thrown together. They were designed by actual Anthropic engineers. Now to use one, it's simple. In the Claude Code U1, just click the plus icon and install it. If you're on the terminal, type a command to install it. Once it's installed, go to the Claude Code chat, type a /, then the skill name, and Claude loads it instantly. Whatever you want to build after that, just give it a prompt. Now next up is custom skills. Custom skills let you build your own set of rules and instructions for Claude. For example, I built a front-end design skill. I gave it every rule about how my front-end should look and behave. Now, whenever I build a UI, those rules and interactions run automatically. You can see exactly what that looks like right here. Let me show you how to build your own. Skills are basically a superpower for Claude. And if you want to learn how to build one that actually works, I've linked a full guide in the description. Now this next one is honestly one of the most underrated features in Claude Code: remote control. It lets you control your entire project from your phone or browser, not just view it, actually work on it. I'm walking right now, running Claude Code from my phone, sending prompts, checking what Claude is doing, all while moving. That's actually insane when you think about it. And setting it up is dead simple. Just run the remote command in your current Claude Code session. It gives you a link, copy it, paste it into your phone browser or any browser, and that's it. Your full Claude Code chat opens right there, and you can prompt Claude and check progress from anywhere. Teleport, in simple terms, lets you move an ongoing session from web Claude Code to your local terminal. To do it, open your terminal. Run the command Claude-teleport. Claude will show you a list of your active web sessions. Pick the one you want. Or, if you already know the session ID, you can skip the picker entirely. Just run Claude-teleport followed by that session ID directly. Claude fetches the branch, loads the full conversation history, and drops you right back into it, locally, just like that. Claude Code doesn't give you one model, it gives you 3. And most people just leave it on the default, and wonder why they're burning through tokens so fast. So let's fix that. Haiku is the lightweight one. Quick questions, simple lookups, fast responses. Sonnet is your everyday model. It handles real, complex work without destroying your token budget. And then there's Opus. Opus is the most powerful model Claude has. But here's the thing, Opus is expensive. It burns tokens fast, so don't use it for tasks Sonnet can already handle. Pick the right model for the right job and your credits will last a lot longer. Token usage tracking basically helps you see how many tokens you're burning. As you know, Claude Code has a token limit for a specific time period, but with token usage tracking, you can see exactly how much you're spending per day and per week. In the desktop version, it's pretty simple. Go to Settings, then Usage, and you can see it right there. But in the terminal, you have to type /usage to check how much you've used. And if you want live token tracking, I've got a GitHub repo for that. Link is in the description.